part of it is just you being who you are, and then, like you said, with certain messages, they just come to you. You know what I mean? Because you probably already related to it anyway. And collaborating, yeah, I leave it as a genuine, natural process. I don't like to force anything. Because a lot of people come up to you, yo, we should do something, da 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 da. You be like, yeah, all right, and then nothing ever happens because there's no foundation built. You know what I mean? So it has to come from a genuine perspective. And majority of people that I collaborate with, we already in the same fold. And sometimes, like doing art shows, you might try to collab with somebody, but you know how artists are, so it's like sometimes they trustworthy, sometimes they not. You know what I mean? Yo, I'ma have it, and then they be like, hey, I couldn't think of nothing. You know what I mean? So you tend to go with those people you know, like, I know they gonna have it, I know they gonna do it, I know. So you know, that's how collaboration usually works.
It helps to have a good history of producing.
Yeah.
When you say you're gonna produce.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to open the floor to questions. I do want to point one little fact out. Friday, Artbeats and Lyrics is not an advertisement. It's actually, but I do want to just mention it because Mr. Soul and Flux have worked on a wall, or collaborated on a wall on an installation. I have a wall, an installation in that show. And it somehow, our art, it just kind of goes that way. We don't intentionally create art to say, you know what, I'm pissed off, or there's a problem. It just somehow, the things you have to say, the art that comes out of you, it just kind of goes in that direction that you have to point out some facts. Mm-hmm. And so I don't want to ask them anymore about that the installation they created for Friday, because you should go out there and see it. It's a free event. It's at the compound, and in order to understand it and see what's going on and what they put together for this year, you have to be there. All right, so that's why I wanted to point that out. Artbeats and Lyrics Friday.
It's a great event in general, though. So, you know,
yeah,
so.
That's overall. Yeah, if you've never been, you want to get there early and enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Okay, so anybody has any questions here on the floor? I see some hands, some heads. I see people falling asleep. Yes, sir.
Is there a talk about maybe putting together a project to deal with some of these issues with police, the deceased? So we usually refer to them. You guys exchange any ideas about that? Has there any buzz, any conversation about that? You guys heard anything, maybe?
I mean, not myself personally. I mean,
the list just gets longer every week. You know,
I was entertained after Mike Brown. I entertained doing something, but I just got to figure out how to. Me personally, I just got to figure out how to make it work. You know, it has to be more than just art on the wall at this point. So I'm just because we Oscar Grant, Troy Davis, and whatever else, we've done it before. You know. And it helps for those who aren't informed. But for myself personally, like I personally invested like $1,500 of my own money to do the Troy Davis show because it had to happen, you know. And I was able to make that happen through the law of attraction. I didn't know where that shit was coming from, but it had to happen. So we've done that before. They helped me organize that. We organized that together. We did Oscar Grant, and there'll be something else that we work on. But as of right now, I will probably say no. You know.
Jennifer, you jumped up. You had an idea.
I don't have an idea. I was just going to say, y'all marinate and do some brainstorming and then call me and then we'll make something happen together.
Well,
there you go. That's how I have.
So when that happens,
yeah,
that was incubated here. Because I think that will be beneficial to us because when we've done shows, it's super grassroots, like 3 people doing everything, you know. And so to be able to partner with or work through an organization that has resources to actually reach out to the community on a larger scale than we have the ability to, will bring in a different demographic to what's the same message for everybody. You know, so.
And being that I'm a young black man in America dealing facing these same problems that I used to go through, you know what I'm saying, that I currently have to go through. I wouldn't mind helping in any way that I can, you know what I'm saying, putting my side of the story out there. If it's possible in any way, I want to help my brother.
Okay.
Well, thank you. We'll make sure that you pick up a card. We do have a business card, and if not, just reach out to the artists themselves and get their info. Their link to their website is on the on artistking.org. Just go through the 2014 page for the current conference, and you'll see a listing of all the panelists and a link to their website, so you can contact them directly anytime.
I want to piggyback off that. People exchange business cards. I give out business cards. People don't follow up. So if anybody's serious about contacting me, you can go through just what he said. Artist King. All my contact information is probably on one of the flyers for that, and then we can work. That communicates a certain level of seriousness for me. You know that you would go through that motion. So
I got your phone number. I'm gonna call you.
don't get nobody
I'm
the phone.
down. That's mine. That's for me.
Don't want them to call me yet. Email all day.
Yeah.
But no, definitely, because it's important. Like for us, I just turned 40 in June. So for me growing up, and I didn't have people that looked like me coming to talk to me about art. You know, art was always corny to me because it never represented my personality, my struggle, as it was taught to me. And so as I got older, then we became those leaders, if you will, that could attract, the youth such as yourself. We're both part of an organization called City of Ink, which is a tattoo shop located in Castleberry Hill and in the Old Fourth Ward on Edgewood. And through this vehicle, we have been able to provide a platform for young artists, white, black, green, purple, Martian, old, young, to be able to display their work because they would probably not have an opportunity to display it anywhere else. And through that, through tattoos and art, we've been able to motivate and inspire and be like the groundbreakers and path makers for young artists who coming up under us. It's a totally different generation of artists that are being born now because they've been adapted to a lot more, exposed to a lot more things than we have. Namely, people like us coming around and talk to them, mentor them, and tell them how they can have careers and build businesses in art. That was definitely not happening when I was growing up. So it's important that you definitely, as a young male, play a role if art is your passion, because you've been chosen for that and you have a responsibility. So if it's not through me, if it's Wonderroot or somewhere, you and everybody have to apply that passion and allow that to manifest into something that's beneficial to other people. Art is a selfless act. It's not for you, it's not for us.
And it's not from you. Honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, most artists will tell you, that you channel energy. It's not so much that you, this is a personal opinion, but most artists will tell you that. They'll tell you that energy kind of comes through you, and that's a gift, right? So
you can't turn it on and off.
Yeah.
When you want to, that's when you know it's real. When it's on and it flows, then it's potent, and it's effective. But when it's off, boy,
You're lonely.
I don't even want to live.
Yeah, to add, piggyback on that, being that, the energy comes through you is very important for you to know who you are, what you stand for, because it's your perspective that's being used. You know what I mean? Like, his perspective may be different from mine, so it is going to be different from mine, but they relate. But the way it comes out is his own way. You know what I mean? The way it comes out is going to be your own way. The way it's come out is my own way. So you got to be comfortable with yourself, be very courageous in letting that emotion out.
Very good. Well, I want to thank our panelists for their great information and energy tonight. I am DTM of DeltaTangoMike.com. We hope to see you October 7th at Emory University at the Grace Crum Rollins Building, 1518 Clifton Road, 6th floor, Atlanta, Georgia 30322. For Women in the Arts panel discussion. For more information, please visit artistking.org. And we will see you next week for another episode of Artist King Podcast.